Okay, welcome to the Trading Buddy Futures and Forex forecast for the week of May the 6th. Good to be back with you. Sorry about the last few weeks. Busy with boot camp for Trader on the Street, and also been kind of dealing with the data issue. So my analysis haven't really done a lot, but lots to talk about this week and to watch and to trade. So let's jump into it. Start with the all-important stock futures. We've got the ES here. We're looking at the advanced decline line. You can see that the advanced decline line is very strong after holding here when the prices are right in here have created a higher intermediate term low, and then we've broken this high on Friday. And so if on with how strong the advanced decline line looks, we should see a continuation of this market at the beginning of next week. But if we see some more selling, I would be very wary of if Monday or Tuesday it comes back to Friday's low. If it comes back to Friday's low at the beginning of the week, then we could see some more selling back in here. But I'm expecting more bullishness in the month of May. It may not happen right away, but that's looking pretty good for the stock futures as far as the long side. So I'm going to be looking for buy signals and hopefully not come back down to these lows of Friday. Now that works on the Nasdaq and the Dow with those pairs as well. Precious metals have done pretty well over the course of the last couple of months. We've seen prices of silver go up into the 29, almost 30 region, and they've had a pullback back down into here. So I'm actually still looking for buy signals in the month of May for the precious metals. This is actually a good spot of consolidation, creating a new base. So if on Monday we get to Friday's high, that's going to be a buy signal for silver and put a stops below Thursday's low. If Monday it does get lower than Thursday's low, I'm just going to wait for it to create a base, or maybe even for it to come down to maybe these mid 25 prices. But I am going to be bullish, and I'm looking for a break of the trend. I'm looking for three-bar reversals. I'm looking for maybe inverse head and shoulders. Looking for a formation of a higher high and a higher low, and then potential move to the upside on silver. I'm going to be looking for the same thing in the gold market. You can see the gold market's been stronger than the silver market. Silver market's been coming back down to the ranges it was back in March, but gold has held a little bit higher. So that means gold is stronger than silver at this point. Even though we did see, record new highs there for silver as well. But I'm looking for buy signals in gold. You can see it's again forming a base just like in silver. So if we break this trend line on Monday and get started to be more bullish, I'm expecting the prices come back up and test that 2400 area. So that's a good 100 points, $100 from where we're at right now. That would be great. If it gets to Friday's low on Monday, then we're going to wait and maybe see if it come down to maybe 2250, 2275, that area, and then form a base there and start to maybe break that trend. It may take a week to do that if on Monday it breaks that low, but I'm expecting bullishness in the month of May for precious metals. I'm also expecting crude oil and the energies to continue to be bullish in May, but right now it's not looking all so well. This week was a pretty rough week for crude oil. You can see that we broke this low in here when we've been holding steady this trend line, and so really it's created a lower high, lower low, lower low, and so it's going to have to either break this trend line pretty good, hold this low right in here around the 76, and form a base, create a 3-bar reversal or a higher low and then come back up into the 80s region. But I don't think it's over yet. I think we're going to maybe test back up into the mid 80s by the end of May. It might take a week or so for it to do that, especially with how it's looking right now. But I'm still bullish crude oil, so I'm going to hold off on any sell signals as it's coming down into these 76 area, and then look for a reversal back to the upside. If we don't get it, we don't get it. But that's what I'm looking for there. My patience in the grain market has paid off, folks. I've been bullish soybean meal, soybeans, wheat, and corn for the good part of the year. It got stopped out a couple of times, but I am making back losses and making profits here as we've seen a base get formed in here, a formation of a higher low, and the bullishness is just starting in my opinion. So I've got positions on soybean meal, on corn, on wheat, and I'm just waiting to see. We probably will have maybe a pullback here of this attempt to go higher and momentum and more volume coming in. But typically, that's really just a kind of a turnaround before we see an expansion higher. So that's what I'm looking for with grains. The commercials have been buying for quite a while, so this is a patience trade. I don't know. I've got my stops here at the previous low of the last 3 days. If it comes all the way back down to there, I'm getting out. Otherwise, I'm gonna just let this one run and practice my holding on to winners philosophy that I'm working on, and trail this every lowest low of the last 5 days or so, 6 days, and see how high it could go. If not, then we'll just play what the market plays gives us, and we'll go from there. But my patience for this bull move to the upside is finally starting to pay off, and I'm gonna see what I can do to hold on to some winners here. And again, that goes for soybean meal. And let's take a look at wheat. See how wheat is breaking this trend line downtrend right in here, and it's broken, formed a higher low, and it's making a move to the upside. I expect it to get up to the high 600s, 700s before it stops. So that's what I'm looking for wheat. The bond market is also looking like it wants to make a move to the upside. You can see that even today, the last couple of weeks, it's formed a base, and we're forming inverse head and shoulders. I think this is the reversal that we've been waiting for bonds to get back up into the 120s, 122 area. So I've got a couple of contracts here on the bond market. My stops are below the low of last week here, and we're just going to hold on and see if we can get higher in the month of May. If not, we'll just trail our stops and see what the market gives us. But for now, we are in a good position, having gotten in at the 115 as it broke above this consolidation here. So really excited about this trade. Well, as excited as you want to be as a trader, just gonna let it run and see what it gives us. And that's it for the bond market. Okay, let's take a look at our Forex pairs that I like to look at. I like to look at the dollar yen, the pound, the euro, and the euro yen. And so we can see that with the dollar yen, we've broken this over the last couple of weeks. We broke this 152 cement ceiling that the Bank of Japan was talking about, raving about the month of March. And you can see that it was in this consolidation right in here, but somebody called their bluff and it got all the way up to 160. And so it went 800 pips above what they were expecting. However, we've got volatility this past week, and it came all the way back down to the 152, touched it, and then bounced off of it here. So you can see that even when we get breakage of these highs, we typically get a test of those breaks. It did take a couple weeks for it to come, and you can see how volatile it has been. I was able to make a little bit of money off of this week, and I do have some longer term orders that are looking for profits back down here in the 140s. So the trades that I do have, I'm holding on to, and and then if you're looking to go long, this is actually a great place to go long. If Monday it breaks Friday's high and starts to creep back up into the mid 150s, I would not be surprised. In fact, that would actually be a great spot to be a seller if you're looking to be, excuse me, a seller of this market. And I would say the reason I would want to be a seller is that the currency futures are, the commercials have been buying up the Japanese yen quite a bit as it's gone higher and higher and higher. Now the carryover trade is still there, so it could easily get back up into the mid to high 150s and linger there for a while. There's no reason why it shouldn't do that. But if you're looking for sell signals, I would wait for it to get back up there before selling right now. This is kind of a downward push that may get some buyers to jump in. Now with this type of pair, it's also very possible for this just to keep on going down, and it could be a roller coaster. So be very careful with your trades on this. Trade with small lot sizes, large stops, and give yourself a wide berth. And don't worry about being wrong if you're wrong. And that's one of the keys to being a good trader is not trying to predict the future. Let's take a look at the pound. This is the pound dollar. It has come down and broken these lows, but what happens when it breaks lows? It comes back and tests them back. And so what we see now is the British pound breaking this high, but immediately getting pushed back down. If we get a reversal on Monday or Tuesday where it comes to Friday's low, we probably will come back down into this range, the 124 range, and maybe even test the 123 that we saw a couple weeks ago. If not, if it comes back to this previous high right in here, we should come back up into the 126 range. So I'm going to be watching very carefully what happens on Monday and Tuesday. Monday sometimes is not the best gauging day. Tuesday is usually when for the week everybody's coming in. So, but that's what I'm going to be looking for with the pound next week. The euro is similar, and in a relatively speaking, in the recent trading days, the euro is stronger than the pound. Look, the pound came right below that pivot and lost a lot of its gains on Friday. The euro didn't. It did lose gains, but it stayed above the pivot. So again, if Monday the price comes to Friday's low, or Tuesday it comes to Friday's low, then we could probably come back down into the 106 region. But I would expect this market to continue to go up. I think the dollar might see some weakness. I'm expecting the bonds prices to go up. That would mean the dollar to be weaker. That means we've got dollar yen possibly coming down, pound and euro going up. Now, again, the dollar yen can move up as much as the pound and the euro go up because of that carryover trade, so be careful about that. But I am expecting the dollar to weaken a little bit more as time goes on. Okay, last but not least, the euro yen. You can see same thing as the dollar yen. We had these resistance levels that were broken, and then the euro yen has come right back down, and it's come down even lower than the dollar yen. So the euro against the yen has been a little bit weaker than the dollar against the yen. So if you're looking for sell signals, I would wait for it to maybe come back up, have a bounce. If it continues to go lower, wait for a support level to bounce and then to create a three-bar reversal to the downside and create kind of a pivot of a lower high. It could happen here, it could happen there. You know, at these levels, maybe create a longer term. If we clear this out, we could have a shoulder here, a head here, and maybe this comes down, bounces, and it creates another shoulder and goes down. So if you're bearish on the euro and the dollar against the Japanese yen, maybe the Japanese yen is finally making some intervention to see these prices come back down in the 150s. But I would just again be very careful about the yen pairs because they're pretty volatile. But that's what I'm going to be looking for this next week with all these markets. It's a lot of fun to trade. If you have any questions or markets you want me to check, just email me at kevin@tradingbuddysystem.com. Please visit the website for additional courses and mentoring, and it'd be great to have you. And please subscribe to the channel and consider sharing if you like the content. So we want to continue to grow our little community that we've got, and just a great bunch of traders that we're working with and trying to improve each and every day, every single one of us. So really excited about the progress of the things that we're doing. So thanks everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your day and rest of your trading week. We'll talk to you next time.